This video presents a strategic analysis of global geopolitical shifts between 2025 and 2026, focusing on the conflicts involving the US, Venezuela, and Iran. We deconstruct the causes of conflict. Direct causes like narco-terrorism and nuclear threats often dominate the news. However, underlying structural causes, such as BRICS expansion and de-dollarization, drive the friction between a unipolar power and an emergent multipolar bloc. Three defining vectors shape the 2025-2026 landscape. Security, characterized by preemptive kinetic escalation. Energy, focusing on the weaponization of global oil reserves. And economy, marked by accelerated de-dollarization friction. Trend 1 is preemptive kinetic escalation, demonstrated by parallel timelines in the Venezuela and Iran theaters. This involved rapid escalation, prioritizing preemptive regime targeting and strategic infrastructure elimination in both regions. Analyzing the justification gap for Trend 1 shows a contrast between the official stance of immediate defensive necessity and dissenting intelligence. The core insight is that these strikes are viewed as aggressive geopolitical signaling, not solely defensive necessities. The outlook for Trend 1 reveals an assertion of the near abroad by the US to enforce red lines. Simultaneously, the BRICS bloc demonstrated vulnerability, proving incapable of militarily protecting partner regimes, exposing it as an economic forum, not a defensive alliance. Trend 2 is the BRICS resource consolidation. The expanded BRICS, including Iran, controls 43% of global oil production. If Venezuela's application is secured, this could rise to 60%, directly challenging the US petrodollar architecture. Trend 2 highlights the conflict between US strategy for energy dominance and target nations' need for a sovereign shield. Managing Venezuela's oil and destabilizing Iran serves a dual purpose: disciplining global supply and warning Gulf states against drifting from the US financial orbit. The outlook for Trend 2 predicts the rapid maturation of an energy and sanctions alliance between nations like Russia, Iran, China, and Venezuela to bypass US-led financial systems. Washington gains strategic leverage over major global consumers through control of Venezuelan production. Trend 3 is the financial red line. The documented drop in the USD share of global central bank reserves, falling from 70% to 56% since 2000, signals a challenge. The US has threatened 100% tariffs on any BRICS nation abandoning the dollar, defining a clear financial red line. Trend 3 reveals the hidden hegemonic war. The public narrative focuses on neutralizing cartels and preventing nuclear proliferation. The structural reality, however, is protecting the foundational currency of global trade against BRICS's efforts to establish alternative payment systems. The outlook for Trend 3 forecasts unipolar versus multipolar friction. Weaponized sanctions may accelerate the development of alternative global payment mechanisms. The US will increasingly treat systemic de-dollarization as a hostile national security threat, warranting severe responses. In synthesis, BRICS acted as a catalyst, not a direct cause. Its expansion posed a structural threat to US global hegemony and created underlying economic risk. BRICS made conflict more probable, inherently tying regional disputes to systemic survival. The executive summary highlights three key takeaways. Kinetic pushback demonstrates US willingness to deploy preemptive military force. Resource wars confirm that energy reserves are the true geopolitical battleground. The dollar red line means de-dollarization is treated as a premier national security threat. We are witnessing the convergence of energy geopolitics, sanction architectures, and preemptive military force. The conflicts of 2025-2026 are kinetic enforcement mechanisms of a global financial system facing an unprecedented structural siege.